Have you ever sat in your favorite chair, looked around the room and wondered, when did things get this way? Maybe there's a stack of mail that hasn't moved in days, a few dishes in the sink, dust starting to settle in corners you used to reach without a second thought. You might say to yourself, I should clean up, but I just don't feel up to it today. If that sounds familiar, I want to tell you something very simple. You're not alone, and more importantly, there's nothing wrong with you. As we get older, it's common for cleaning to feel harder than it used to, not just physically but mentally. The energy is different. The motivation comes and goes, and sometimes, even the thought of starting feels overwhelming. But what if there was another way? What if cleaning didn't have to feel like a burden, but instead became something calm, gentle, even enjoyable? Today, we're going to explore 10 thoughtful techniques that can help shift the way you feel about cleaning. These are not just tips to get things done. They're ways to bring ease and care back into your home, and maybe even into your day. So take a moment, pour yourself a warm drink if you like, and settle in. You don't have to do everything at once. You just need a new place to begin. Let's start together. 1. Begin by opening a window. Before you pick up a broom or reach for a sponge, try something simpler. Walk over to the nearest window and open it. Let the outside air in. Let it stir the curtains. Let it touch your face. There is something almost sacred about that first breath of fresh air in a still room. It softens the edges of whatever task lies ahead. It lifts the weight you may not have realized you were carrying. Many professional cleaners will tell you, before the cleaning begins, the air must change, because fresh air does more than clear out a room. It clears the mind. It gives the space a sense of movement, of renewal. If the weather is kind, open more than one window. Let the breeze move through your home like an old friend gently returning. If your mobility is limited, or it is a chilly day, even cracking one window for 5 or 10 minutes can make a noticeable difference. And light, natural light, is a quiet kind of magic. Pull back the curtains, raise the blinds. Let the sun fall across the floor, the table, the old bookshelf. It reveals beauty in things you may have stopped noticing. The warmth of wood, the glow of glass, the patterns in dust as it dances in the air. This small act, opening a window, does something deeper than freshen the air. It reminds your home and yourself that today is new, and that change, however small, has already begun. Now, you do not need a checklist, not yet. Just a little light, a little air, and the willingness to open up right where you are. 2. Set a timer, not a trap. One of the biggest reasons we put off cleaning is because it feels endless. We picture ourselves scrubbing and sorting for hours, and we stop before we even begin. But here's something many professionals do. They set a timer, not as pressure, not as a race, but as a gentle boundary. Try this. Choose a soft sound, something easy on the ears. Then set the timer for 15 or 20 minutes. That's it. Tell yourself, I'll do just this much today. When the timer goes off, I'll stop. That small promise gives your mind permission to begin. It makes the task feel lighter. And knowing there's a stopping point helps you focus on what's right in front of you, not everything that's left. You might be surprised by how much you can do in a short window. Wipe the kitchen counters, fold the laundry, clear one side table. When the timer rings, pause, breathe, sit down. Let the work settle into your body, but don't push past your limit. Over time, these short sessions add up. A little each day, without the stress of having to get it all done, can gently transform your space. And more than that, it sends a quiet message to yourself. You deserve rest. You deserve rhythm. You deserve to work with kindness, not pressure. So today, don't clean the whole house. Just set a timer. and see what shifts. 3. Play the songs that carried you. Sometimes it's not the task itself that feels heavy, it's the silence. That quiet hum of the house can make even the smallest chore feel like a burden. But music has a way of changing that. Put on something that speaks to your heart. Maybe it's the voice of Frank Sinatra, or the soft harmonies of Simon and Garfunkel. Maybe it's an old gospel tune that reminds you of Sunday mornings. Let the music fill the space, not loud, not distracting, just enough to lift the air a little. As you fold towels, dust the shelves, or rinse a few dishes, let the rhythm guide you. You're not rushing. You're not working harder. You're simply moving with the music, letting your body follow a beat that feels natural. Professional cleaners often use this very trick, not to go faster, but to stay steady. Music turns repetitive tasks into moments of connection, sometimes even joy. And the songs you know, the ones that carried you through different seasons of life, can do something else. They bring you home, in more ways than one. So next time the silence feels too still, press play and let the music keep you company, one note at a time. 4. Use tools that respect your body. There's a quiet kind of wisdom that comes with age, the kind that says, I don't need to do this the hard way anymore. And when it comes to cleaning, that wisdom matters. If your knees ache when you bend, if your shoulders get tired easily, or if reaching the top shelf feels risky, that's not a failure. That's simply your body speaking honestly, and it deserves to be listened to. The good news is, there are tools made for this. Lightweight vacuums that glide easily, mops with adjustable handles so you don't have to stoop, long-handled dusters for reaching high corners, soft grip brushes that are gentle on your hands. Using the right tools isn't about avoiding work. It's about working with your body, not against it. It's about honoring the strength you still have and giving it the support it needs. Professional cleaners know this well. They never skimp on their tools. Why? Because the right tool doesn't just make cleaning easier, it makes it more comfortable, even more enjoyable. You've spent a lifetime learning how to move smartly, how to protect your energy. Cleaning should follow that same principle. So give yourself permission to invest in what helps. A broom that fits your hand. A cart to carry supplies. A stool that feels safe and sturdy. Because taking care of your space should never come at the cost of taking care of you. 5. The 2-minute act of power. Sometimes it's not the big jobs that wear us down. It's the little ones we keep walking past. The dish left in the sink. The mail stacked on the counter. The jacket hanging on the back of a chair. Each one seems harmless on its own, but over time, they build up quietly, until one day, the entire space feels heavier than it should. There's a simple habit that can break that cycle, and it's something many professional cleaners rely on every day. If a task will take less than 2 minutes, do it now. No planning, no internal debate, just a gentle, immediate choice to take care of it. Put the coffee mug in the sink, straighten the pillow, toss the flyer you know you're never going to read. These tiny acts don't just keep your home in order, they restore your sense of control. What makes this so powerful is not the time it takes, but the message it sends. Each 2-minute action is a quiet reminder you are still capable, still in charge of your space, still creating calm one small gesture at a time. You don't have to tackle the whole room or plan a deep cleaning marathon. You just need to start with what's right in front of you and do it now. With enough of these little wins, the room begins to shift. Not all at once, but gradually, dish by dish, paper by paper, until you look around and realize something feels different. Lighter, more open, more like home. And it didn't take hours, just a few good moments, made with intention. So the next time you hesitate, ask yourself a simple question. Will this take less than 2 minutes? If the answer is yes, let that be your cue. Not because you must, but because it's one easy, honest way to take care of your space and yourself without waiting for the perfect time to begin. 6. Divide your home into little lands. Cleaning an entire house can feel like standing at the bottom of a hill that keeps growing. As we get older, that hill can seem steeper, not because we care any less, but because our time, energy, and strength are simply not what they once were. The good news is, we don't have to climb the whole thing at once. In fact, we're not meant to. One of the most helpful ways to make cleaning feel more manageable is to stop looking at your home as one giant space and instead begin seeing it as a collection of smaller, meaningful places. Think of each room, each corner, even each surface as its own little land. The kitchen is a place where you've shared meals and memories. The bedroom holds rest, comfort, and perhaps the soft creak of old floorboards that have known your footsteps for years. The living room may carry echoes of laughter or quiet evenings spent with a book. Every part of your home has its own story, its own role in the rhythm of your life. When you approach cleaning from this perspective, you're no longer facing a mountain. You're visiting a familiar place, one room at a time. You might say, "Today, I'll tend to the bathroom," or "Just this morning, I'll care for the entryway." By narrowing your focus, the work becomes lighter, more peaceful. You're not trying to do everything. You're simply giving attention to one small part of the whole. It's a method professional organizers use often, not just for efficiency, but because it respects your energy and protects your peace of mind. You might even find it helpful to create a gentle schedule. Mondays for the kitchen, Tuesdays, the bedroom, Wednesdays, the living room. Don't think of it as a rulebook. Think of it as a quiet guide, something that removes the pressure of decision and replaces it with clarity. And something lovely happens when you clean this way. You begin to notice details again. The light coming through a window, the feel of a well-worn blanket, the way a room smells after the windows have been opened. It stops being a chore and becomes a moment of reconnection with your home and with the life you've built inside it. 7. Let cleaning be a quiet thank you. It's easy to think of cleaning as something we have to do, just another task on a long list, something to check off so we can get back to real life. But what if we changed that perspective? What if we saw cleaning not as an obligation, but as a quiet way to say thank you? Every object in your home has supported you in some way. The table you wiped down might have held birthday cakes, quiet breakfasts, or long conversations with someone you love. The floors you sweep have carried you through decades of steps, through health and hardship, through joy and routine. The dishes you wash have held food that nourished you, or others you care about. Even the windows you clean have framed countless moments of sky, trees, seasons, and maybe even grandchildren playing outside. These aren't just items. They're part of your story. When we clean with gratitude, something in the work changes. The motion becomes softer. The weight feels lighter. You're not scrubbing to erase mess. You're tending to a space that has given you so much. Many professional cleaners who take pride in their work say that the job becomes more than maintenance. It becomes an act of care, almost like prayer. A small, quiet offering to the life being lived within those walls. You don't need to speak the words aloud, but you can think them. Thank you, kitchen, for the meals and the messes. Thank you, bed, for the comfort. Thank you, hallway, for carrying me safely back and forth all these years. These small acknowledgments turn cleaning into a ritual, not a routine. They allow you to feel present, even at peace, instead of rushed or frustrated. You may even find that certain tasks become more meaningful this way. Folding clothes becomes a way to honor the body that wears them. Dusting shelves becomes a moment to pause and remember the books, the photos, the mementos they hold. Nothing is just stuff. It all has value, simply because it has been part of your life, And you, dear friend, are allowed to honor it, one gentle motion at a time. 8. Your home is not a battlefield. For many people, the act of cleaning feels like going into battle, fighting dust, clutter, stains, and time itself. We use words like tackle the mess, attack the dirt, or conquer the chaos. It's no wonder we feel tired before we even begin. When we treat our homes like enemies, the work becomes a fight, and eventually, we grow weary of it. But what if you saw things differently? What if your home wasn't something to defeat, but something to care for? A place that has sheltered you, embraced your quiet moments, heard your laughter, and kept you safe while you slept. When you think about it that way, cleaning becomes something else entirely, not a war, but a return. Your home is not judging you. It's not asking for perfection. It's simply waiting to be tended to, with the same gentleness you'd give to a dear friend who's been feeling neglected. The dust isn't a sign that you failed. It's just time passing. The clutter isn't shameful. It's proof of a life being lived. You don't have to scrub away every imperfection to make your space meaningful. You only have to meet it with care. Try this. Before you start cleaning, take a breath. Stand quietly in the room. Look around, not at what's wrong, but at what's real. The chair by the window, the books you've read, the blanket someone gave you years ago. You are surrounded by the evidence of living. That's something worth honoring. Then begin, not with the mindset of fixing everything, but with the spirit of stewardship. You're not correcting a mistake. You're simply nurturing a space that has nurtured you. Professionals who clean with heart often say their work feels less like a task and more like a quiet kind of service. A way to restore order, yes, but also a way to express gratitude. Let cleaning be less about pushing and more about presence. Light a candle if it soothes you. Open a window if the air feels heavy. Speak kindly to the space if you need to. Your home does not need to be perfect. It needs to feel loved. And that begins not with pressure, but with permission. To show up just as you are and begin again. 9. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Many of us grew up with the idea that a clean home should look spotless, flawless, untouched. We were taught that order meant perfection, and anything less was somehow not good enough. But that belief, while well-meaning, can quietly steal the joy out of caring for a home. It can leave us feeling like our efforts don't count unless everything sparkles, every time. The truth is, that kind of perfection doesn't reflect real life, and it certainly doesn't reflect the beauty of a lived-in, loved-in home. Professional organizers and longtime cleaners will tell you that a happy home is not a perfect one. It's one where you can see signs of care, where effort is visible, where the messes come and go, and the comfort remains. When you focus only on what's left to do, you overlook what you've already done. But when you take a moment to notice your progress, even the smallest things start to feel like quiet victories. Maybe today you only dusted one shelf, or cleared off the table, or folded the towels and stacked them neatly. That's progress. That's something. You showed up. You made a difference, no matter how small. And those small steps add up. They create momentum, and they also create peace. One helpful practice is to keep a simple notebook or calendar nearby, not to track tasks, but to record little wins. You could write, wiped down kitchen counters today, or cleaned out the bottom drawer. It might seem silly at first, but over time, you'll look back and see a pattern. Proof of your care, your consistency, your presence. Even on the days when you felt tired, especially on those days, there is grace in progress. There is dignity in trying, again and again, even if things aren't perfect. A blanket left unfolded doesn't erase the love in the room. A dish in the sink doesn't cancel out the effort you made yesterday. Your home is not a museum. It's a reflection of life as it really is. Honest, imperfect, beautiful. So today, celebrate what you did, however small. Let it be enough. And tomorrow, if you can, do just a little more. 10. Start with one small victory. When your home feels cluttered, messy, or simply out of rhythm, the hardest part is knowing where to begin. You might look around and feel like everything needs attention. Every room, every surface, every corner. And when everything feels urgent, it becomes easier to do nothing at all. That sense of overwhelm can quietly take the wind out of your sails before you even pick up a cloth or broom. But here's something that changes everything. You don't have to begin with everything. You only need to begin with one small, specific, visible thing. One drawer, one chair, one tiny space that you can claim as done. It might feel almost too simple, too small to matter, but that's the beauty of it. Small victories create movement, and movement creates momentum. Choose one place today. Maybe it's the end table beside your favorite chair, the one with the old magazines, the loose pen, the mug from 2 days ago. Clear it off, wipe it down, and take a step back. Notice how it looks. Notice how you feel. That small act does more than tidy up a corner of your home. It tells your mind, I can do this. I already did. These moments build confidence. They gently push back against the idea that cleaning must be exhausting or all-consuming. Instead of trying to transform your whole space at once, you create change by anchoring it in one clear, finished spot. You give yourself a place to return to, a reminder that progress is possible. Professional cleaners use this technique all the time. They call it anchoring the room. Once one space looks and feels calm, it inspires the next one, and then the next. But it always begins with just one. So today, find your small victory. Let it be obvious. Let it be enough. And when you're done, sit near it. Rest your eyes on it. Let it remind you that care doesn't need to be big to be real. Sometimes, a fresh table or a cleared chair is all the proof you need that your effort matters, and that your home and your peace of mind are worth returning to. Bonus. A gentle lesson. You deserve the space you live in. One of the most overlooked truths as we age is this. Your environment affects how you feel. Not just physically, but emotionally. When your home feels chaotic, even in small ways, it can quietly weigh down your mood, drain your focus, and increase your sense of fatigue. But when your space feels cared for, even just a little, it begins to return that care to you. This isn't about impressing guests or reaching some unreachable standard of tidiness. It's about giving yourself the environment you truly deserve. One that supports your peace. One that reflects your rhythm. One that honors your time and history. We often give our best to others. We clean when visitors come. We tidy up for family dinners. But you are reason enough. You don't have to wait for a guest to make your bed. You don't need a special occasion to light a candle or open the curtains. You are the occasion. And here's something even more powerful. When you care for your space, you're sending a message to your deeper self. I still matter. My comfort matters. My presence here still has value. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't even need to change everything at all. But small, intentional care, even 5 minutes a day, can slowly reshape how your space feels and how you feel inside it. So remember this. Your home doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to feel loved by you. As we come to the end of our time together today, I hope you're walking away not with pressure, but with peace. Not with a to-do list, but with a quiet sense of permission. Permission to care for your home in a way that feels calm, thoughtful, and right for this chapter of your life. Remember, cleaning doesn't have to be rushed. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be slow, quiet, even gentle. And each small act, whether it's opening a window, folding a blanket, or simply sitting in a freshly cleared chair is not just about tidying up. It's about making space for yourself, for your breath, for your well-being. You deserve to feel at home in your own home. If something in today's message touched you, I would truly love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one small change you're inspired to make. I read every word, and your reflections mean more than you know. And if you'd like to stay connected, to keep receiving these gentle reminders and practical insights made just for you, please subscribe to this channel. We're building a space here for wisdom, for kindness, and for quiet strength in later life. And if you know someone who might be encouraged by this message, feel free to share it with them. You never know. The simplest share might bring someone a little peace they've been needing. Until next time, take good care of yourself and take good care of the place you call home.